Okay, how's everybody doing today? First of all, today we're going to be discussing secondary education after high school. There's many different forms. There's trade programs, college degrees, certificate programs. There's a lot of different variances of things we can do to further our education. One of the main reasons for this that we're going to discuss is advancement and difference between salaries of college degree holders versus just high school diplomas or GED holders. The second one we're going to discuss is advancement in the workplace, which with a lot more people going to college these days, it's become a lot more competitive to advance without a degree. And the third thing we're going to discuss and kind of debunk is a lot of people's rebuttal of how expensive it is to go to school. It's really not that expensive, in fact, so we'll get into that. First, I'm going to start with talking a little bit about my personal experience. After high school, for me, for everyone, it's a fork in the road. You're deciding whether you want to just go ahead and take that factory job or the entry-level job, making pretty good money right out the gate, but keep in mind you're going to top out at some point, whereas the people with college degrees are going to have a little bit more of an advantage to advance through the ranks and a lot quicker than people, for the most part, without. That doesn't hold true to everything, but for myself, after graduating from Central, I had a small stint at Campbellsville University and decided that it just wasn't the right time for me. I wasn't mature enough. So I decided to join the Marine Corps. Spent a 4-year enlistment. It was worth it. Now I'm able to have my school paid for, and I feel a little bit more mature in going to school now, and I'll be able to fully achieve what I want to achieve. With that being said, I did decide after getting out of the Marine Corps for a year to contract back in Afghanistan, which was really advantageous for my situation with no degree. I was able to earn mid-100,000 level of salary, which unfortunately I had to leave my family behind for a year, whereas there are a lot of people who make that, here in Elizabethtown and Hardin County, that come home to their family every night. And for the most part, those people have some sort of education outside of high school, whether it's a trade such as welding or just a college degree or a PhD. Now, during that year I was injured. Unfortunately, I've had 2 shoulder surgeries within the last year, one directly related to Afghanistan and another one on the same side related to a fall. So I can speak from firsthand experience that it's pretty difficult in essence to come back. For instance, in my situation, I want to build a future off using my physical capabilities, such as doing law enforcement or something along those lines that would have fit well with what I'd achieved in the Marine Corps and my physical stature during that time. Now that I've been away from that and my disability has ended and I'm moving on to further my life and career, it's actually become a very difficult process not having a college degree, which is why I'm back here taking a public speaking class and going back to school. It's very difficult. A lot of us don't think about it, especially with having a family. I find it very hard to take a $14 an hour job when really, when you look at my resume with no degree, it's very hard to justify anything more than that. So one of the first things we're going to talk about is a little bit of a difference between salaries of someone with a college degree versus a high school diploma. According to U.S. News right now, there's a $17,500 a year advantage for a college degree holder versus someone who's just got a diploma. They don't include trade schools in that or any sort of certificate programs, but there is alternate research through the Higher Education Council that even if you decide to do a trade such as welding or heating and air conditioning, something along those lines, you will advance and pay much quicker than someone with just a high school diploma that has not chosen to follow any sort of secondary education. Now, the median annual income in relation to salary for a worker who has a bachelor's degree is $45,000 a year. So if you do the math and you take $45,000 a year, you subtract $17,500 on it, you're going to start to be in the high to mid 20s, which for some of us, that's perfectly fine. But for those of us with a family, it's very hard to achieve a comfortable living, especially if it's a one-income household. Additionally, when you talk about advancing within your job, with college on the rise for attendance, between 2001 and 2011, according to the Pew Research Center, there was a 32% increase in college attendance and college graduation between those years of the average between 18 to 25-year-old males and females. Now, with that being said, that makes it clear that within the workplace now, more people are becoming competitive with college educations. So it really does put a damper on you. You can be a hard worker and have all the skills and qualities that someone needs and wants for the next level of what you're trying to achieve. But if there's someone that's comparable to you, but then they have that bachelor's degree, associate's degree, any kind of trade or any kind of certificate, even a short course that just shows that they have put a little bit more into it, more than likely 9 times out of 10 they're going to get that position. Now, a lot of people say, well, college is expensive. I don't want to get out of college with $60,000, $70,000 in debt. That really depends. You can be choosy on what school you go to. Community colleges are very affordable. You can still knock out a lot of your general education there and then transfer to a 4-year degree. But as well, keep in mind that a 2-year degree is more than enough to justify a little bit of a raise at work or become more competitive. The average undergraduate only takes about $27,183 in student loan debt out per year, and that was a figure that was given to us by the American Education Society. So in retrospect, when you look at it, it is kind of pricey, but in the long run, I think you can make that back in the first 10 to 15 years. That college education will start to easily pay for itself. So when we look back at everything we discussed today, it's very simple. When you come to that fork in the road after high school, you can either choose to go right into the workforce, full-time, working that job that you don't really want to waste your time on college or anything else. There's multiple things we can do. We need to go to college. You can go to a trade school. You can go to a job that offers a trade as part of the training for that job where they cover it. There's multiple things we need to do. We just need to continue to better ourselves, and we should. Not only that, but for those of us who have families or plan to have families, it is a 31% more chance, according to the Department of Education, that your children will go to college and attain their degree if you've attained yours. If not, obviously 69% chance that they won't do it, and we want to do everything for our kids and better ourselves to be positive role models. So I thank you guys for your time today. I hope I've made a little bit of a difference in your choosing and helping your kids choose in the future of what choice they're going to make after high school. Thank you guys.